guys, it's JD here, back again for another video. The Daima lore continues. We have a lot of setup and interesting plot points that it looks like we're going to probably see later in the series. We're on episode 4 of Daima. Fandom's already full steam ahead on some of these mechanics and clues that have kind of been the focus of discussion on Twitter and most of YouTube. We'll get into that later. The episode begins where we last left off. Glorio, Shen, and Goku realize that the ship had been stolen. Not much clues are left other than like a ransom note, but it doesn't really do anything other than tease them. They decide to continue their journey on foot, search for new towns that may have a new ship that they can purchase or maybe even steal. As they continue their journey, they do have to cross a large trench which connects over the Sea of Darkness, which was shown in episode 3. Apparently, if you fall or if you sink too far into the trench, you do die, apparently instantly. The guess for why would probably be due to you already know about the air being very heavy, very dense. So most likely, just like how if you're at the bottom of the ocean, the pressure's so high that it would crush you or pop you. So something similar may be at play with that. Could also be due to demon magic that maybe hasn't been revealed yet. But this harshness, this very, very tough environment, almost like the room and spirit in time that we're kind of experiencing here. Again, like I've said in the previous video, I think there's more to it, which might go into, it's more than like an abiotic or a limiting condition if you were, study like biology or, evolution. I think it's a little bit more than that. In the context of Dragon Ball, it's probably serving a reason for bettering mortals, or in this case, I guess the Majins, demons, at least physically. But more to come on that. As the episode progresses, we do get some more fighting, some kind of giant worm fish monster from the abyss, which they're crossing, tries to eat Goku. It's a very limited fight. They're trying not to use too much ki to fly, to use Boku no Jutsu. So they are in the air when this happens. Glorio decides to actually fight, so this time you get to see a little bit of his action. Goku and Shin are surprised. Glorio's very quick, which is kind of expected. They're trying to hype up this character. He dodges a lot of the fireball attacks, deals a couple physical hits, and pretty much knocks the creature back down. Goku does make a statement that Glorio is very impressive and probably stronger than Shen, which you already know Shen's about Super Saiyan level, at least from the Majin Buu saga. So that is a little impressive. We're still dealing with Buu saga scaling here. We're going to see enemies, we're going to see foes that are probably Super Saiyan 3 level or beyond, but I would not expect super scaling. If people are thinking we're going to get characters like, level of Super Saiyan God or Beerus and things like that, I think you're going to be disappointed. But we shall see. We should see. Magic is a interesting mechanic for any kind of characters in fiction, so just because someone may be stronger doesn't mean that the magic can't make up for that. So more to come on that. So next we find Goku and the company finally arriving at a town. This appears to be a merchant shop, so it's a little like almost like a teacup house. It's very interesting. We're introduced to like a old lady and an old man. Who the old man is actually from the second trailer, I believe. The lady's, giving some food for Goku because he's been hungry as they've traveled. Goku eats some kind of demon lizard dish, like a skewered demon lizard, and he has some kind of special demon tea, which to Goku's dismay, it tastes very bitter, so he doesn't like that. It's a little funny gag scene, very, very OG Dragon Ball. We're then taken to an exchange between the husband of the shop and them inquiring about a plane or ship, because remember, they're trying to get a ship to get to their destination faster. They don't have one, but they do have an alternative means of travel, which is a sky seed. I'll a little bit explain about what that is a little bit shortly, but at the same time as they're kind of covering that, Shen and Glorio, I guess they're looking through the shop and they have some souvenirs, and this is where everything is just the whole fandom is kind of set ablaze. We see all these bug candies, all these different varieties, and the shop owner explains that they can do many things. So the Medi bugs are the ones that heal you. They heal your stamina. They're very similar to the Sensu. So some people are theorizing that Sensu came from the Demon Realm. Not sure on that yet. We'll have to wait for more information. They have achichi bugs, I think is what they're called. That's for burns. Zutsu bugs, which are for headaches. So just little gags on like a pharmaceutical shop, basically. But there is one that's very, very, very interesting, and that's the join bug. The join bug seemingly allows multiple people to fuse, at least for a short time. It's not permanent, so it's not like Patara. It's more aligned with the Metamorian fusion or the fusion dance. Don't know what kind of time limit. Don't know if it's based off how much ki you have. Don't know if you have to be a demon. Don't know much of the conditions, but this is interesting because not only is this just like this is like going into a Pokemart shop, right? You get the items you need for your Pokemon as you go through the journey. It's a very JRPG, right? But this is also serving as foreshadowing. This is definitely like a Chekhov's gun. I mean, this is going to be used. I would be it'd be insane for them to not do that. I mean, this is Dragon Ball. This is a sequel to the Buu arc, which introduced fusions. And so a lot of the fandom is just really, really excited because they're thinking we're going to get Vegito or Gogeta, maybe more closer to Vegito since this is a sequel to the Buu saga. First of all, that's too simple and obvious. They're not going to do that. Toriyama is not the type of person to give fans what they want exactly. That's why he killed Vegeta in the Buu arc. And even bringing back Vegito in Dragon Ball Super during the Goku Black arc was not a Toriyama idea. Geekdom and others have reported on this. It was in an interview where Toyotaro was the one who suggested it. Goku and Vegeta, when they were Super Saiyan Blue fighting Zamasu, were never ever going to fuse. It was thanks to Toyotaro that we actually got Vegito back. So it's a credit that he probably does deserve. Secondly, the join bug fusion would not even give us those fusions in the first place because their existence, their personality, their soul is predicated on the type of fusion. So Vegito only exists within the realm of Patara. Gogeta only exists within the realm of the Metamorphian dance. So because it's a new type of fusion, those characters cannot exist. Now, would it still be a Goku and Vegeta fusion if they ever do use the join bugs? Probably. Like, for example, when everyone gets involved, when they're fighting the Tamagamas or the final bosses, yes, it's very plausible once both big parties, join together. We know Vegeta, Bulma, Piccolo, Kibito, they're going to show up at some point when the two parties are aligned. Yes, it is very likely that Goku and Vegeta will be the ones to actually use the join bug. But will it be a Vegito character or a Gogeta character? No, it will not. I think it'll be something different. I think we're going to see demon-like ears. It's going to be a demon-like fusion. That's what I think is going to happen. So yeah, I don't think it will be... It could be a Goku and Vegeta fusion, but I think it's going to be something brand new if it involves those two. I'm actually hoping that the fusion is different. Like it's a brand new fusion, different people, Goku and Glorio, Shen and Goku. Or even a three-way fusion, because the sign shows three people fusing, and I think we've seen something like this in the Moro arc. I believe Galactic MJ on Twitter posted some of the three demon goons that were in Moro's army. They did some kind of fusion, if I recall. They turned some big, like ogre-like lady. So that could have been them using the join bugs off screen. So shout out to Galactic MJ for finding that. Others may have, but he was the first to post that to my knowledge. So it would be cool to see a three-way fusion. And let's not forget, everybody's talking about the fusion, happening for our heroes. It may actually also happen for the villains. Like there's some fan art of Degasu, Goma, and Dr. Arensu fusing into some crazy demon Kai, sort of like Meki Deborah. And there's also other fan art in the Japanese community about maybe the Tamagamas. Although I feel like the Tamagamas would probably just have their own fusion anyway, since they're creatures of magic most likely. But we could also see some other type of fusion too. So I would keep that in mind going forward. Now going back to the Sky Seed, this is actually cool because the first thing I thought when I saw this thing is it's almost like a giant like broom thing. It reminds me of like Harry Potter or something, right? But I think it's a part of a plant, like it's part of the flora, because it's coming from the natural fauna of the demon realm. So I thought about it a little bit more, and I think this is a reference to Taraxcum, which is the scientific name for dandelions. Um, and there is a lot of symbolism with this. The way they travel, like kind of like through the air jets, and as they disperse when they germinate. Very similar, I think, to how we're seeing it in the demon realm. It may be some kind of intention by Toei and the ones that came up with this idea. Um, and it may make more sense once Daima ends, because as you've seen in the opening and the ending, a lot of flowers, a lot of flora motifs. Obviously because the tornado is passing, but I think it's trying to say something about how even in a place of darkness, of great evil, there's life in the fringes of the most harsh environments, right? I think that's what they're going for, and so I believe since we don't really understand all of the cosmology yet, but seeing all these plants and fauna and animals being able to emerge in such harsh environments, spreading and germinating everywhere, I think that's what the sky seed and is serving, like, in terms of a motif. And East Asian cultures, I believe the white dandelions symbolize hope, determination, in some cases the moon. So that's yin energy, right? So there's more on that, I guess you could say. Now, in regards to the sky seed, they do use it. It goes a pretty far distance. I don't remember the number, but it takes them over a trench, another one of those trenches, and they have to jump off because it's not like it's sort of just a cannonball really at this point. They avoid the Sea of Darkness again. We do see some action with Goku. He senses using his ki, another ogre-like creature, which we saw in the Toriyama art. He quickly dispatches it with the power pole or the Niobo. Glorio is not aware of the creature and asks how he determined that. So now we know that it looks like a lot of these demons don't have the martial arts skills that the Earthling martial artist developed. So being able to sense ki is looks like it's a Goku and his friends kind of thing, at least for the time being. So as they're walking, they basically have an interesting conversation that is, I mean, this is what I think is the most pivotal moment, besides just the fusions being talked about. We were getting this conversation where Goku brings up the Namekian Neva that Piccolo knew about, and the Demon Realm Dragon Balls. Goku is excited to kind of go his search, finding them and making a wish. Glorio explains that everybody knows what the locations are. You don't really need a Dragon Ball radar. Everybody knows the locations, but they're carefully guarded by the Tamagama, which are the ball gods. It's just that in order, it's not just finding them, you have to beat them. It's a trial, going back to the whole Namekian roots of this being something you have to earn. You can't just have a piece of technology to find it and avoid any kind of struggle. It's all about bettering someone and going on almost like a pilgrimage. So Gloria reveals that, and to his knowledge, no one has actually used the Dragon Balls, which I do find kind of sketchy. Obviously, Neb is the one who created the Demon Dragon Balls. I find it hard to believe that they know about this dragon possibly being a Purunga type dragon. I feel like it had to have been used, maybe just before they ever were aware of it. He also says something along the lines of these Demon Realm Dragon Balls are like the originals, which some people have kind of been having an argument about whether is he referring to. So are the Super Dragon Balls the original Dragon Balls? I think the way you can just kind of slice this is that the Demon Realm Dragon Balls are the first set of Dragon Balls to have been shaved off from the original Super Dragon Balls. I think that's what he meant. It's just that the translations on most of the streaming sites make it suggest that this is the original Dragon Balls. I think they mean that it's the original Dragon Balls that were essentially based off the Super Dragon Balls, which means that they should be very powerful. And I mean, the fact that they're made using black magic is maybe a reason why. We'll find that out as we go through the story. But with this information, Goku isn't deterred. If anything, he's just more motivated, right? Because his Saiyan instincts are kicking in. He wants the challenge. But Glory reveals that he tells him where the location of the first Tamagama, which is in the first realm. It's in the opposite direction of where they started their journey. But he's okay with them essentially going to challenge the Tamagamas. He mentions that their main concern was rescuing Dende. They can deal with that and then use the Earthling Dragon Balls to just restore them back to the way they were, which they weren't sure about. As they walk off, or at least as Goku kind of walks off, you see a stare down, which between Shen and Glorio, and it's a good like 3-4 second stare down. I don't think it was not intentional. So, and then even when they all walk away, Glorio's smirking. So that tells me that this is a scene to pay attention to. This is establishing, foreshadowing about Glorio and where his allegiance lies, or maybe he wants to make a wish himself. There's more to him, and there's more to the agency of the party that is using him to have Goku do all these odd end jobs, which is kind of where we're going. So we'll see. So we get to the final sequence of the episode. We see a town which has some denizens. They appear to be prisoners, or they're at least being rounded up as prisoners. There's like a big public meeting thing that's going on in the center by the characters that we see from the trailer. This appears to be the main, faction, the main force of the Demon Realm, at least the first realm. The Gendarmerie, which is a French term for France's military, introduced during, I believe, the age of the Napoleon conquest. The Japanese and the Chinese would adopt this structure. So the Japanese adopted it during the Meiji era of Japan, and then I think they called it the Kempate, and it's like, I mean, you can think of it as like the KGB. You can think of it as the German Gestapo. It's very similar. This is an old imperial force that would have existed throughout the World Wars. They did a lot of horrible, a lot of experiments. They were doing a lot of crazy experiments. I think even Call of Duty had stuff involving them, but I guess not very good people, basically. But they eventually, I think, disbanded during the end of the World War II with the atomic bombing. So Toron was a big history buff. I think he did a lot of art for like the military outfits across different cultures and regions. Love military aircraft, a lot of military tanks. You see that, of course, with the Red Ribbon Army. You see that with a lot of his scientific, sci-fi, adaptations of these things. So this is just him having fun with that, I believe. Could serve another motif, of him basing the Demon Realm and having this Kempate force. Obviously, there's at the time they were serving the Emperor. So is there an Emperor-like character in Daima? I mean, obviously King Koma kind of fits the bill, but I see what they're doing. Goku and company, they observe the Gendarmerie, and it looks like they're collecting offerings from the denizens. Since Goma has been officially, I guess, brought in as the Demon King, I guess after he gave his speeches that he hinted at in the first episode, he wants more public offerings as gratitude. So you have to give these coins. I think it's the same currency that Glorio's been using, and if you don't offer 3 coins, I think you lose like 9 years of your life. And if you I think there's another one where you lose like 3 years if you don't have if you only have like 1 or 2, but basically they're losing their life. It's being shortened with some kind of machine contraption that collects the energy. I don't know if it's Genki. It's unclear, but it's very similar to the bubbly fluid machine things that you see with the sand pods when they're babies. It's obviously not that, but I mean it's a similar kind of thing. Also reminds me of the an Otherworld during Fusion Reborn, the machines that cleanse off like karma, like your energy. Similar thing, I think, but yeah, they basically are collecting life force from the citizens, which is kind of pretty evil. And you get to see it in action. They take another guy, he loses like 3 years of his life, and then another old guy, he's so old he's worried that the 9 years are going to kill him if they take it before he I guess would theoretically die. That's when we see the masked Majin arrive. She tries to stop the Gendarmerie. She has like some kind of grenade. I think this is like a Bulma-like character. I mean, that's pretty much what they're hinted at, but it doesn't work. which is very interesting. And so she's running away. She has like a little like device that zaps them, but she's having trouble. And then that's when Goku jumps in. There's a great choreographed fight, just like in the superhero cut of Muscle Tower with the Red Ribbon Army. Goku easily stops the guards. I mean, it wasn't really a challenge. I mean, this is base Goku from the Buu arc. I mean, it's not going to be any struggle, I don't think, for him. I think he's getting the hang of it based off what he's based off his progression up to this point. But yeah, great scene. I mean, this is great. I wish Super had looked like this. I mean, there's been no bad scenes up to this point, which is great. So I really hope they keep that consistency. But yeah, Goku basically stops most of the guards, but more are coming. Goku's basically a fugitive now, which will of course alert Goma and the others as the series progresses. They escape, but not without the masked Majin following them. It looks like she does stop them and reveals that she is a denizen too of the demon realm. She's got the blue skin, the pointy ears. Her name's Pansy. We know that from the trailer and the character bios from the website, but she's going to be one of the main party members of this group. So more to come on that. This is where the episode ends. Overall, I did really enjoy this episode. Again, it's starting to pick up slowly by slowly. It is setting up a lot of suspicion with Glorio and his possible ambitions with the Demon Dragon Balls. This episode also shows off a lot of RPG mechanics, with the little bugs and consumables. The join bugs and the medi bugs, which Goku does have, will probably be used maybe as a almost like a checkpoint if they do defeat some of the Tamagamas, I think. We are going to see more of the Getting to Marry, which I really like. I think they're great characters design-wise. And I'm really excited for the Tomagama fights. They are really hyping them up. I think they're great designs too. And I'm also excited for Goku using the Power Pole while Super Saiyan and Super Saiyan 3 even. So I'm really excited for that. I'm going to make separate videos on my full thoughts on who I think will be fusing. I have some concept art I've been trying to finish up. That's why I didn't post this review immediately. But I have a Tamagama video already ready. It's just I'm kind of deciding whether I should post it now or as we start seeing them in action. We'll see. But more videos will be coming. Expect at least one more video before the next review. But anyways, thanks guys. I really appreciate all your support. I really liked how well the last video did. And I'm going to keep cranking out more videos and art. So I'll see you guys in the next video before the next review. And this is JD signing out.